legislation is in place in Kaduna State. How will you advise the government to tackle insecurity in the state?
Well, I have access to the new governor of Kaduna State, and I don't need to make public, what my observations are. I have access. I don't need to make public, what I think they should do. We handed over. I said I have access to the government of Kaduna State. I don't need to make public what I think they should do to enhance security and safety in the states.
All right. So, like I said in my intro, I mean, some Nigerians have called these appointments a renewal of hope. But with the state of insecurity in the last 10 years, characterized by banditry and insurgency, how will you describe the appointment?
It's a good decision, and it's a good choice because if you look at the antecedents of the service chiefs as well as the chief of defense staff, they have a track record. The chief of army staff and the chiefs of Navy and Air Force are both cosmates. They are all members of the 39th regular course, and they have worked together. They have a long history of working together. The Chief of Army Staff, for your information, was GOC, 1 division here in Kaduna. He was his last posting was Chief of Operations in the Army headquarters before his appointment as Chief of Army Staff. The same thing for the Chief of Defense Staff. He was theater commander in the Theater Command Operation Harden Kai in the Northeast. His last posting before his elevation as Chief of Defense Staff was a co-commander of the Infantry Corps. The same thing with AVM Abubakar, who was appointed Chief of the Air Staff, as well as Rear Admiral Ogala, who was appointed Chief of the Navy Staff. So they are experienced officers, they are seasoned, they have seen it all, and they have all passed through the rudiment of staff, instructional and command. So we have high hopes in them, and I don't think that Nigerians will be disappointed going by their track record. We have worked closely with the Chief of Army Staff, the same thing with the Chief of Defense Staff, and I know their pedigree, I know their quality, I know that they are commanders that lead in the front. They are not commanders that lead from the rear. They will offer sound leadership. They have strategy. They have all that it takes, as far as the issue of enhancing public safety is concerned. We should support them. We should do a lot. We should support them. We should do a lot in the area of collaborating with the military by way of providing actionable intelligence. Because what we are dealing with, like I said, is asymmetric warfare. These guys, these non-state actors, are people that mix with the civil, that mix with our population. But if you have actionable intelligence, if you have good intelligence, you can be able to have an edge over these non-state actors. And I believe, and I'm optimistic, that the present crop of service chiefs that were appointed a couple of days ago will offer us good tidings as far as the issue of public safety is concerned.
All right, so having worked closely with both men, let me start with the new Army Chief, that's Major General Lagbaja. How confident are you about his ability to tackle insecurity, now not just in Kaduna, but nationwide?
Well, he's a seasoned officer, and like I said, he has passed all through the rudiments. You have to look at his record. He was a brigade commander. He was a GOC 82 division, and he was also here in Kaduna as a GOC of 1 division. I remember a lot of times we moved to the forest with him. Like I said, he lives on the front. You know, you will not even distinguish between who is GOC and officers and men. And that is a clear demonstration of leadership. And he has a vast understanding of this problem. So we should just support them. You know, once we support them, and we should also adopt what we do here in Kaduna, participatory security management, where everybody is involved. We have a way where we are getting information from different angles across the state. So with what I have seen in him closely, having worked with him, I believe that he has all that it takes, you know, in continuation with where his predecessor stopped. I don't have any doubt that we will see and get the best from Major General T.A. Lagbaja. I am optimistic. Not only him, the same thing to his colleagues, AVM Abubakar, the chief of the air staff, as well as Rear Admiral Ogala, who is the chief of the naval staff.
So how significant are these appointments to tackling insecurity?
Well, it's very significant. Significant in the sense that when you look at the profile, when you look at the track record, when you look at the antecedent of these service chiefs that I have mentioned, you know, you will see that they are not just military officers; they are seasoned officers who have came out in flying colors in all the places that they have worked. For instance, the chief of the air staff, as well as his counterpart of the Navy, were both ex-boys. They started they were both ex-boys of Nigerian Military School in Zaria, from where they moved to Nigerian Defense Academy as members of the 39th regular course. And the same thing, if you also look at the Chief of Defense Staff, Major General C.G. Musa, and Major General T.A. Lagbaja, the Chief of Army Staff, they have been in this, they have been in the trench, they have been there, they have worked together in the Northeast, they have worked together in the Army headquarters, you know, they are seasoned, they have served in several capacities. If you check the record of General C.G. Musa, you will agree with me that he did well while he was in the theater command. Everybody praised his leadership and work ethics, what he did there. The same thing with Lagbaja. When Lagbaja came here in Kaduna, you know, he changed the tide of the game. For the first time, we were able to go to some locations that were hitherto unreachable or inaccessible, so to say. There's a limit to what I can say here, but I like you to know that these appointments are good for our country. What is required is for us to support them. What is required is for us to see how we can do more, how we can increase the wave of participatory security management I did talk about.
All right, so how will you advise the new service chiefs to carry on with the task of securing Nigeria? I mean, I'm asking this question because just a few weeks ago, the president stressed the need for synergy among the security agencies in the country, especially on matters of intelligence sharing. I mean, we know that Nigeria has a low capacity for gathering intelligence. So how important is this synergy?
I don't think it is not correct to say that. I disagree that we have low capacity in intelligence gathering. I have been in the system, you know, for years, and I know that our security agencies are doing well. We have talented people. We have all that is required. There are a lot of misrepresentation there's a lot of misrepresentations and misunderstanding of our capacity. We have all that it takes. You know, what is important, like I said, is we should support our defense and security forces as well as the intelligence agencies. Once we have this understanding, definitely we will be able to contain most of these threats. You are asking me a very difficult question. I have access to the Chief of Defense Staff as well as the service chiefs. If I have any observation, if I have any recommendation, I don't need to come on air and pour it. You know, I have access. I know where to push my suggestions, and I want you to know, and I also want Nigerians to know that we have able service chiefs. We have people who are not newcomers on the deck. They are people who have played a lot of, who have served in several capacities ahead of this elevation. I don't think that we should be apprehensive. We should be supportive to them. So I'm so sorry that I cannot be able to say what I can say, you know, behind the camera.
All right, so frankly speaking now, do you think Nigeria needs foreign support to tackle insecurity?
I don't get you. What do you say?
All right. Do you think Nigeria needs foreign support to tackle insecurity?
Well, I will also not make comments about that. You know, and I'm so sorry that I won't make comment regarding that. But what I want to say is we need to support our military, police, DSS, and the government as far as the campaign against terrorism and banditry is concerned. We have a lot in our plate, and we need to understand that the very moment we don't divorce security challenges with religion, ethnicity, and political persuasion, we will continue to complicate our situation. We should take our identity out of this. The only identity that we should lay more emphasis on is the action of a non-state actor. You know, what someone is doing, that is what should be our action. The issue of ethnicity or religion or political affiliation does not help our issue. A criminal is a criminal, irrespective of the multiple identities that a criminal may have. And I believe that why we are having a lot of problems is the absolute misrepresentation of the issues. We really need to understand the issue. We have to treat issues without recourse to sentiment, without issue of religion or ethnicity. Like I said, terrorism has no boundary. Banditry has no boundary. Banditry has nothing to do with religion or ethnicity. Bandits are criminals. You know, from the very moment that we begin to bring identities in managing criminals, we are more or less giving criminals a shield. We are more or less giving them a cover. So we need to come together. We need to respect one another. We need to understand that we don't have any other country more than Nigeria that is our own country. Playing to gallery, or bringing a lot of people, giving media space to people who parade themselves as security experts, you know, to put down the efforts, the sacrifices that our men in uniform are putting is not a good thing as far as I am concerned. I have been an active player in the issue of security in our state, and I know what our men in uniform, I know the sacrifices that they are making. Nobody talks about the fundamental right of a soldier or of a policeman or a DSS personnel. Nobody is talking about the widows.
All right, Mr. Aruwan, quickly, I mean, we're gradually running out of time.
Orphans that we have around as a result of all this. So we need to stand by our military. We need to stand by our police. We need to stand by our men in uniform, you know, because they are paying with their lives so that you and me will be safe from danger.
All right, so quickly, I mean, in 30 seconds, some security experts say non-military approach remains the best option. How critical is this?
Well, for me, I believe there are two means, or there are two ways in tackling security problem: the kinetic and non-kinetic. And circumstances should decide for us what is good. There are situations that are better handled by non-kinetic means. There are also situations that are best tackled by kinetic means. This is what I have to say.
All right. Thank you very much. I've been speaking with Samuel Aruwan, immediate past Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs in Kaduna State. Tonight we focused on appointment of new service chiefs and Inspector General of Police by President Bola Tinubu. Thank you very much, Mr. Aruwan. It's a pleasure having you on the program, though you refused to answer some of our questions, but it's fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you very much for watching.